Your past is no longer relevant. You're about to encounter something much more real.
Listen, mister,
Silence, Edwin. You're in a new neighborhood now.
Uh-oh. Where am I?
Hey everybody, my name is Caleb Ward. I'm the program manager for Late Night. I am here with Alex Boudinet, creator, writer, producer, director, and voice actor. R.C. Nelson, lead animator, director, voice actor. Nicholas Knehans, animator, and Brian Shellick / Cricket Cornelius, voice actor. Hey guys, it's good to have you all here.
What's up? What's up?
All 15 of you with all 4,000 of your different names.
Exactly.
Alex, I want to start off with you. Being the creator, I want to talk a little bit about sort of where the impetus for this show came from, where the idea was, and just kind of take me out from the origin of where this came from.
For sure, yeah. So, me and most of the team here, we live in Missouri, in a small town outside of St. Louis, and there's not many folks out here that are really in the entertainment business, the film industry.
That's not what I've heard. I've heard there's like a secret industry out there. You guys have been running for years. That's why you're so successful all the time.
Compared to LA, it's, in the coast, there's not much of that. So I remember my father actually had a friend, and he wrote a script. I remember him telling me that. I remember thinking, like, he wrote a script. Like, who's writing scripts out here? Like, just, on their time off, And I remember just being like, really just like, that is awesome. Like, why have I not written the script? Like, I should be doing this. And how do you know if you're good at it if you haven't tried it? So decided one night, I wanted to challenge myself, was looking for a creative outlet, and just started writing. And I kind of felt like I wouldn't do too well with nonfiction, but with fiction, I kind of feel like it's almost like writing with cheat codes. You have more ingredients you're cooking with, and I didn't really know where it would go. But I ended up finishing it and showing it to Crick and a couple of the other guys, and just getting their feedback on it. And they were all like, man, this is genuinely funny. And, at that point I was like, I want to move on this and see where it can go, and decided to seek out an animator. And that's whenever I happened to run into RC, and we kind of filled him in and pitched the idea to him and let him read it and everything, and here we are today. So it's pretty cool.
How long have you guys been working on this?
Yeah, so we've been doing this it's been about 3 years. It's been quite a good amount of time. RC's been when we started, actually, we didn't really have a timeline. None of us had ever done this before. We're like, let's just take our time and do it right. And this isn't this was a career for RC. He was bobbling a number of other gigs and jobs and such. So there wasn't really a rush on it, and we're happy with the way it turned out, though.
So RC and Nick being the animators on the show, this has a very specific style to it. Can you talk a little bit about why you guys decided to go with sort of this version of 3D animation, and what that brought to the story itself?
Sure. We were just kind of kicking around a few ideas when we met with these guys. It was, I'm juggling other projects. I'm more of a character-based designer and animator, and around that time, me and Nick started working together, and he was kind of doing some production, and we were just building a team together. And he primarily did a lot of the backgrounds, and it's actually, there's a little piece of 3D in it, but most of it is all just camera work inside of After Effects. And so we started working with like designing characters, just on pencil and paper, and they brought a couple sketches from, just kicking around some ideas, and we just kind of took it one character at a time. And I think there's like 7, if you count the cat, maybe there's 9 characters. And these characters, I really wanted to bring them to life and make them feel like light could bounce off of them, and they're really in an environment, and it feels very spacious, and it kind of took shape based on the environment that we built. And so all the characters, I mean, we played around with doing some, hand-drawn animation, and we didn't really we really wanted to build the characters so they could be reusable, since we're kind of telling this episodic story.
Yeah.
And so we rigged everything up and built this world, and it's been awesome.
That's the thing that really impresses me about the world of animation. And I'm not an animator. I cannot draw. I am not a visual artist by any stretch of the imagination, but how it really is like building a world and building a camera rig. It takes just as much, if not more work than it does doing a physical production, because you have to build this world and build the rules for, how lighting works within this space. And I just think that's so cool and so impressive. And there's a very specific style to River City that I think is really interesting.
For sure.
Brian, Brian, you and Alex both voice characters in the show. How many characters just across the board did you guys split up between the two of you? Because I know there's a lot of crossover in certain ways.
Well, I can honestly say I only voice just the main character, Edwin.
Mm-hmm.
We have there's actually a bunch of others that have done a lot of voiceovers for us. So we kind of split it up between us as far as when we were writing the script, and what characters did we think would fit us, and then we kind of fit other people in after that.
Gotcha. Alex, I want to kind of talk a little bit more about River City as a whole and where the idea for this town sort of came from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a fan of horror, and especially kind of the homegrown terrors like It, Halloween,
Mm-hmm.
down to some of the more classics like Monster Squad. So it just has a certain vibe, those movies, and I really wanted to have that with this animation. At the same time, though, I wanted to do something that really was kind of different, and I thought that maybe I don't see much animation, horror style animation.
Yeah.
And even this first episode, there's not much horror in it. There's definitely some darker vibes that are going on.
Mm-hmm.
But
setting a tone,
It is, for sure. But at the same time, I kind of really wanted to. It's kind of a hybrid of horror with kind of an Americana. I've always liked old school movies like American Graffiti.
Mm-hmm.
The style of Grease. That. So
These
I kind of
microcosms of a universe that take place in just a town of 10,000 people.
Yeah, all that just resonated really well with me. I thought that kind of building this unique world that has a little bit of everything, and it's just kind of where it went.
Oh, that's cool. That is very cool. Gosh, I just had a question, but can we talk a little bit about Gravedigger? Because I'm obsessed with Gravedigger. And have any of you ever been sucked up into a tornado?
Yeah, that's actually really a pretty awesome story. So I used to work at a bar called the Dock House, believe it or not, and the producer, yeah, mind blowing. The producer, one of the other producers, Murdock, he was actually at the bar, and we were just having a conversation. And he's from Oklahoma, and true story. We're just having this conversation. This strange guy just interjected in, and he was just like, "You guys ever been up in one of those tornadoes?" And we're like, "Man, did you really?" I mean, it was just literally he fed me a line. and just that whole interaction with them. There was a lot of characters like that that would come into the bar, and if you just stretch your imagination a little bit, it's not that far from what happened in the show.
I've been a bartender. You don't have to stretch your imagination that much.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man,
for sure.
Well, so tell me a little bit about sort of, and this I guess is kind of the question for the group as a whole, or Alex, or maybe RC. Sort of, where is River City going from here? What are you guys doing? Are you working on more episodes? What is the future of River City look like for you guys?
You want to start, RC?
Sure. Yeah. I would love to do a full series. I would love to take these characters. I mean, there's a lot more characters. We haven't really even introduced, Daryl the Demon, or these other characters like what was the name? I don't know how much you want to give away.
Yeah, there's a lot more. And I also wanted to say too, everyone in this project, it's not a big crew, but I know that there's only 4 of us here, but I know that Brian, every time that he would do his lines, I know we were going to get a good performance from him, and he also we actually finished episode 2 as far as the writing goes, and he was instrumental in he wrote a big chunk of it, really. So I think everyone's really going to like it. We're excited to get that going. But everyone on the team, I couldn't ask for a better team. They were all so great. But yeah, moving forward, yeah, we definitely we want to keep pushing, and there's a lot more to be told. This was just an introduction. There's so much more. It's really going to get dig deep, and we're going to actually be introducing a female protagonist in the next episode, and some great characters. I mean, some real weirdos.
Love that. So is there a place that people can follow or find more information, or you guys, or about River City directly?
I mean, you can follow us on Facebook. We have a Facebook group, and it's called River City the Show, I believe.
Got that marketing campaign down.
I know, right?
It's called River City, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Good luck finding us, everybody.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, is leave them wanting more, and they got to hunt for you. It's like it's like an AR experience.
Right. Yeah. So it's River City Show
Cool.
on Facebook, and then my studio, MattiBurns Creative Studio, is always kind of posting things about the characters and kind of bringing it over to the Facebook page of River City. And you could always go to MattiBurns.com, where we're constantly putting things out there. So yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, my last question, for everybody, is obviously, the pandemic shifted a lot of things and changed a lot of things, but it didn't change our consuming habits. Is there anything that over the last year you guys have been watching and enjoying, whether it's episodic or movies or things like that have just really blown you away, or maybe something you really hated and you're just on a soapbox about it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big Midnight Gospel fan. Rick and Morty. What did I recently?
Midnight Gospel is great.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
And that totally influences us. As far as dream sequences go. Kind of building this world, and not only kind of doing the character development, but we have a city that we've only shown a couple buildings, but really there's this whole town, and that we're excited to show, and the other characters.
Awesome. Nick, what about you? What have you been watching over the last year?
I just finished Invincible by Robert Kirkman.
Nice.
The superhero fighting, very gory and stuff, so that was pretty cool. But other than that, I've been going back to old Cartoon Network shows because there's a lot of shows that I missed when I was growing up. So I've been doing that, like looking at how characters are animated and stuff, trying to learn from that.
Awesome. Brian, what about you?
Well, for me, since being a teacher, I'm out for the summer. It always seems like I end up going back to bluegrass, so I always tend to go back, and at least these last couple of weeks, I've been going back and watching the Squidbillies on Adult Swim.
Great.
One of my favorite ones, and always gets me inspired. It's just, for me, it's great because doing voiceovers, I did acting in school all the time. I was in some shows. But voice acting is like completely different. You have to do everything kind of over the top because, nobody's actually seeing what you're doing. So you kind of have to do that voiceover with, that character in your mind. Nobody can actually see what you're doing. So you have to go above and over the top. And I don't know, I always found with Squidbillies, seeing those characters go above and over the top. I mean, one of my favorite things to see. So I've been back watching that.
Awesome. And Alex, what about you?
Yeah. Well, recently, you guys are looking for something really good to watch. Mayor of Easttown on HBO is awesome. If you're into like that True Detective, like, if you were a fan of like True Detective season 1, it's just really, really good. Kate Winslet's badass in that. So I'm actually wrapping that up, and then I usually just go back to old school South Park. I really liked. Especially the older seasons, just what Matt Stone and Trey Parker are capable of. It's just it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I've been rewatching Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Nice.
Yes.
It's been so long, and it feels like I'm watching it for the first time. It's so good.
No, it's fantastic stuff. I hear that.
Yeah. Well, awesome, guys. Thanks so much for being here. Really
thanks,
appreciate
Caleb.
it. Thanks for sharing River City with us, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Awesome. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.